Resist all. Did you see what the new story that came out of North Korea this week? North Korea was sending balloons full of human shit over to South Korea to crash and to land on South Korea. Balloons full of human shit. Now tell me you wouldn't love to do that to an enemy, like a coworker or a neighbor, just balloons full of human shit. You wouldn't. How great would that be? And I'm mad that John Ketzel never thought of this. He must be beside himself that he never thought of this prank.
Is it my shit or someone else's?
Either way,
it makes a difference.
You're bombing your enemy with human shit. This is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
I just think I'm glad that we have the plot for Squid Game season 2 now. I was worried it was just going to be a rehash of the first season.
You know, somebody's always stealing your parking space, or your neighbor who doesn't cut his lawn. This is fantastic. I mean, what's his name? Kim Jong-un. He might be a communist, but you got to admire his style. You got to admire his flair.
And he looks like he takes some healthy shits too.
Oh, but can you imagine the middle-aged Asian guy, the shits they take? When I heard that, I said, that's beautiful. Johnny Knoxville's got to hire this guy as a consultant next year, for Christ's sake. Balloons full of human shit. Can you imagine? I'm sure if Hitler, I can't believe Hitler didn't think of that. That's unbelievable.
Real inside the box thinker, that Hitler.
Yeah, Hitler was way too restrained.
No imagination at all.
Hitler was way too restrained, just bombing people and what do you have no imagination? I mean, Mussolini had no creativity whatsoever. Now one balloon full of human shit. These guys they call themselves dictators. And I'm embarrassed for Ted Bundy that he never thought of that, for Christ's sake.
There was a lot of human shit in the last seconds of Mussolini, though, weren't there?
Oh, yeah. When they brought the knife out, he saw what they were going to cut. Yeah, I guarantee he shit himself. Mussolini took a shit on that. But that is fantastic. But look, when you don't see that debate, two politicians, here comes a balloon full of shit coming over.
Yeah, all this time I was worried that I missed the golden age of dictators. Or the brown age of dictators.
The brown age of dictators. I can't believe, you know, Putin's going to be doing that next week in the Ukraine. And I'm sure, I mean, that's, how did nobody think of this before? It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Nobody, especially our friend John Ketzel. He's got every kind of prank. There's no prank he hasn't pulled on somebody. And he didn't think of this. He's
driving around with a car full of wid shit.
Yeah, and now he's got to go get balloons at the party store.
How does that end up? What's the goal, man, for that?
To smite your enemy. What do you mean?
Yeah,
you shit on your enemy? I guess it's better than that.
It's inconvenient for the victims, but it doesn't win a war.
It's saying it's.
I don't know. I would be pretty pissed. I'd rather you drop a bomb on me than human shit. I really would. I wouldn't. I mean, hit me with a hydrogen bomb. I don't want human shit on me.
Yeah, I like it. It's good to see someone doing something out of hatred than greed. Like Putin and Netanyahu aren't going to do that because they want to live in the area. He's just like, no, I'm happy with the North Korean territory. I just don't want you to have nice things.
Hamas was going to do that, but they didn't realize balloons were invented yet. Hamas, ISIS never heard of balloons, but what balloon? They're still throwing rocks. So.
Yeah, they heard something you have to blow up.
Balloons
was the last thing on their mind. That's for sure.
It certainly isn't going to be balloons if they're blowing something out. Imagine if you strap. I wonder how many virgins you get if you strap balloons to yourself. Do you get any virgins? I mean,
not like the right kind of virgins. Those are the ones. Yeah, those are the ones that show up to a costume party.
Oh, that guy. He might be a communist dictator. He might kill people, but you gotta enjoy that. I mean, he should get his own show, like on the streaming service. All kind of pranks.
I think he has all the shows on North
Korean TV. I imagine he does. And the best thing is when they talk about him, they say you don't want him to die because his sister is really mean. I mean, how much meaner? He's starving people. How much meaner could his sister be? And they always say, "Oh, I hope he doesn't die. His sister's worse." Really, his sister is worse? Worse than a guy who's starving his own people? What does she do? What is she up to? Worse than a guy starving his own people.
Well, in fairness, he's not going to be able to starve his own people if he wants to continue with this offensive program.
He needs them to eat so they can shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good point. That's a great point. He's in a quandary. How can I keep starving and producing human shit at the same time?
Now they just have a healthy diet of prunes and light beer.
I saw that. I said, oh, man, don't tell me there's no upside to communism. When I saw that, I said, come on.
The immaturity of it?
It's fantastic.
Well, at least we know what to do to the Capitol building this year, this time around.
Absolutely.
If we don't like who's elected.
Somebody's got to be doing it soon. It's ridiculous. Somebody has to be doing it.
Comedy Train.